I first want to start talking about the difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval.
Excellent.
Because, anybody that's out looking for a house can call up a lender and say, hey, this is my income, this is what my credit looks like. And a lot of lenders will issue a pre-qualification letter. And it really doesn't have any value.
Good morning, everyone. This is Ken Angst. I'm the team leader of the Angst Real Estate Team with Hope Properties Nevada in Reno, Nevada. And this morning we have a special guest. It's one of our preferred mortgage lenders. Her name is Kathy McAlpine with Mason McDuffy Mortgage. How are you doing, Kathy?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
So Kathy's come in today because we have something that's coming up a lot with our clients that are particularly buyers and some of our listings. And we're kind of discussing the importance of having a pre-approval letter before you start searching for a home. So Kathy, a lot's changed since this COVID-19. And can you kind of tell our clients out there, what's the importance of getting a pre-approval letter? I mean, it's all about income. And just because someone can actually make a mortgage payment in their mind, it doesn't necessarily mean a mortgage company will allow it. And then also, we'll kind of go into why it's important in this environment, why sellers are actually requiring anybody that comes in for a showing to have a pre-approval letter. So if you can kind of discuss that, and we can get moving there.
Yeah, and I first want to start talking about the difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval.
Excellent.
Because, anybody that's out looking for a house can call up a lender and say, hey, this is my income, this is what my credit looks like. And a lot of lenders will issue a pre-qualification letter. And it really doesn't have any value because on our side of the transaction as a lender, we have to calculate income a certain way that might not, be the same as what you as an individual think that you have available to pay your mortgage with. And with COVID-19, some of the validations that we have to have in the beginning of the transaction and the end can affect whether or not you can get the loan as well, if you're self-employed. So a pre-approval is actually running credit and looking at your financial documents so that when you do go out and you see that house that you want to make an offer on, you can actually close on it.
Okay, I have a quick question on that. If
Yes.
a seller, how do I know the difference? Is there something on because we get, as agents, we get a lot of, with offers, we get a lot of pre-qualification letters, or is there something on the letter that states the difference between the two?
Not always. So as an agent, if I were a listing agent, that's one of the questions I would have is, has their income been validated? Have you run credit? So as a listing agent, you can always call that lender that's on that pre-approval letter or pre-qualification letter, ask those questions because it's not always clear.
Okay, now how do you do it? How does Mason McDuffy do it? When you get someone, I know that when our buyers come to you, how do you work it? How does your company?
Well, to me, it's really important that I'm not sending anybody out to look at houses or make offers on houses unless I can close a deal. So it's very important to me to look at their income documents, run their credit, and know for sure that we can make it happen. And legally, a pre-qualification, I can't say you're pre-qualified and ask you for financial documents. So that's one of the changes that took place with the new regulations. But in order to issue a pre-approval letter, I can. And that's where the strength of that letter comes in to play with the documentation that's being provided.
Right. Yeah, because we've had several people where this has happened is they have a pre-qualification letter and it's not as strong as we thought. We get an offer in. Can you kind of talk about the things that are going on with COVID-19 as it pertains to the income verification? Because we've had a few deals go sideways. How that changed going forward?
So what's happening is right now, of course, it's changing again because some businesses are allowed to open. But what was occurring is that there's additional verifications that have to be done now if you're self-employed and if you're employed. So as an example, if you're employed in a business that isn't supposed to be open, then the lender can't necessarily make a loan.
Wow.
So yeah, the validation is done on the front end at application and then again at closing. So I don't think anybody really wants to purchase a house if they don't have a job
Right.
or if their wages are cut. So, you know, the intention and the reason that those requirements are in place are to protect the consumer,
Right.
you know, not just to protect the lender. You need to make sure that you have the ability to repay that loan.
Okay. And then the other thing, as we talked about at the beginning, I'll kind of add on to what you're saying, is the pre-approval. A lot of listings now, just because sellers don't want tire kickers in their house, particularly now, because there's a lot of danger with touching things and infecting people. So we're seeing a lot of listings require a approval from the lender up front to even check out a listing. So it's another reason why, just to get in and check it out with Kathy. Kathy's one of the best in the business. She spends a lot of time up front, like she says, and that's what we appreciate, my clients and ourselves, to make sure that the person in the transaction can actually go through with it. And that's something important so that no one's time is wasted.
Yeah. And one of the things I think that individuals may not realize is that your lender has a reputation.
Right.
And if that reputation is that this pre-qualification or pre-approval letter doesn't result in a true loan, the listing agents know that. So
Correct.
You want to hook yourself up with somebody that can close a deal.
Right. Do you have anything else to add about the importance of a pre-approval letter?
Just making sure you get in as early as possible, because, you know, surprises sometimes show up on your credit.
Yes.
And just knowing before you even start looking at houses, I think it's really important to get in and get that in place, because it never fails that I'll get a client that says, I'm not going to be doing anything right away. And then it's a mad rush to run credit and get them ready to make that offer, because guess what? They found the house that they wanted to write the offer on.
Right. And then the last thing I want to add is, you know, as someone's realtor working with buyers, it's important to Kathy's going to set the expectation on price, because a lot of people think they can afford a lot more than they really can. And that's kind of that calculation that Kathy does with debt to income and all the different intricacies of looking into your credit. So,
yeah.
Hey, Kathy, it's always great to have you in. I really appreciate it. You stay safe.
Thank you, Ken.
And we'll look forward to talking to you soon. I appreciate all your knowledge.
All right. Thanks, Ken.
Take care. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.